He did 4 comedy specials. They're so bad, Shannon, they're not available on Netflix or Tubi. Can I say that again for the audience? They're so bad that they're not available on Netflix or Tubi.
You don't think Sam's a good comedian?
The world doesn't think that, sir. I have 12 comedy specials. He has 4 specials that are not available on Netflix or Tubi.
It seems to me, Katt, that you had a lot to get off your chest.
No.
You wanted to set the record straight.
Winners are not allowed to allow losers to rewrite history.
Welcome back to my channel. If you're just joining us, I'm Sephora Moses, and I welcome you to Real Talk with Sephora. So let me ask you this: when was the last time you sat glued to your chair just listening to somebody speak for good 2 hours 45 minutes? Just listening. It's not a movie. It's not a basketball or a football or any other kind of game that might interest you. Just an interview. I don't think most of us, we do that. You just sat there and you listened and you listened and you listened for good 2 hours 46 minutes to this intriguing interview which Katt Williams did. So that interview, for some of us who have not come across it, took place almost 2 weeks ago, and it is still trendy. We have 51 million views on that interview as at now that I'm filming this video. 51 million views and still counting, right? So that interview, I'm very sure that there are some of us, because he's a comedian, there are some of us who finds it intriguing, laughable, hilarious, and we just laugh about it. It's very entertaining, which it is. And there are some of us who finds it to be very, very educational, right? Because that interview happened to give birth to some really magnificent life lessons, which I'm going to be sharing with us today, because to some of us who like to take notes and just observe and learn, so I was able to gather together some quotes from that interview and some really motivational and knowledgeable wisdom from that interview, right? So let's just dive right into it, to Mr. Katt Williams interview.
Right. But if there was a God, what would he think about you if you did that? I'm saying let's say, for example, that God is real.
Yes.
Okay? And let's say he be looking at what you do.
Yes.
What would he say if you did that?
He said, that Katt, that's a very kind gesture. That's very generous of you.
My whole life, since I was telling you when I was young and they was asking me what I wanted to be, and nothing I wanted to be was what I wanted to be, God's friend. That's a weird thing if you're an atheist. If you're an atheist, I didn't even say nothing. But if you believe in God and I tell you that I wanted to be God's friend and I wanted to even go to Hollywood and still be God's friend, if I told you that that was my aim, you could understand where I'm at. Like, I promise you, no jealousy, no bitterness, no, none of that.
So for someone, perhaps you're wondering that, okay, so what? The first quote that I took from that interview is where he mentioned that he had always wanted to be a friend of God. And to some of us, when you hear that word is very simple, that phrase is simple, it does not carry any weight or anything strange. Perhaps you might be wondering, you might be asking, okay, Sephora, what is wrong with that? Yes, it's just that it is hilarious, because this man that is saying that he wants to be a friend of God, that is a friend of God, is the same person who will later tell you that If you find him with a gun in his bag for the first time and you arrest him, and if you come back 30 times again, you're still going to find the gun in his pocket. You're still going to find the gun. So that tells me that, because if you really take your time and pay mind to everything that this man said in that interview, it will also grip your mind that, okay, so being a friend of God, it might surprise you the kind of people that are friends of God. You see, being a friend of God doesn't necessarily mean that this person has to wear this light of holiness from your hair to your toe to signify that you are a friend of God. It might surprise you the kind of people that are friends of God. It's so beautiful, because just listening to him speaking these things, it makes me realize that, wow. Because first, not being judgmental, but I did not really understand where he was going with that phrase until he started talking about his kids. He happened to have lots of kids which he adopted, and in the course of the interview, he also asked Mr. Shannon, if you were to be God, and I have done these things that I have done, which is a good deed, adopting these kids, what would you say to me? And Mr. Shannon told him that, oh, if I were God, I would say, well done, Mr. Katt Williams, you have done marvelously well. And it is true, because if you listen to why he adopted these kids, if you listen to the interview and listen to why he said his major goal or desire is to be a friend of God, then you will understand why he said that word. And that word really, it really stole my heart, because just hearing from somebody like that, and you didn't even expect it, a comedian, somebody who can make you laugh, say something that is holy, say something that is not so holy, and then he puts it together to make you laugh. It's really beautiful to me, and I love that. I really love that. So my second quote will be, I just outlined it as a quote, because you might say life lesson, but I just outlined it as a quote to make it easier for us to comprehend, right? So my second quote is when he said, I put my list here. Okay, so my second quote is where he said the first job of someone who made a deal with the devil, how they behave, like they go through life acting as nothing has happened. I'm going to play the video for you guys to listen so that we can continue with this same quote, because I really love analyzing this, because this is just so beautiful. And if you don't have time to reason it, you might be thinking, what kind of word is that? Actually, this is a very hilarious and very deep thoughts word that he just said here.
These people are not powerful. Satan can't create anything. That includes blessings for his people. That's why, you know what the number one job of somebody that sold their soul in Hollywood is?
What?
Is to act like it didn't happen.
Okay, so what he means to say is that when you make a deal with the devil, right? It's like you go on and you sign a paper. You make a deal with the devil, and then you go on with your life, living life as if nothing has happened. You see, for instance, you go on like you get married, you have kids, taking your kids to school, living a fancy life, a beautiful life, a fabulous life. Everything is so fancy and rosy and beautiful. And then in a minute, from nowhere or out of the blue or out of the moon, then you hear a knock. Knock, knock, who is that? It says, oh, it's me, the devil, I have come to collect. then I've come to call it. So it's what he's trying to say is that what they do is like you make a deal with the devil and then you go on behaving and acting as if nothing has happened. That is what he means to say, and this is very, very hilarious. And because he's a comedian, it's very hilarious. But there's wisdom here to learn. This is like a wise saying. You pick out the wisdom, the words that ministers to you, or which ministers grace to your hearing, or it's up to us to just pick out the wisdom from this phrase. So my third quote, which I outlined here, it's oh, I love this actually. He said,
It seems to me, Katt, that you had a lot to get off your chest.
No.
You wanted to set the record straight.
Winners are not allowed to allow losers to rewrite history.
winners are not allowed to allow losers to rewrite history. This is so beautiful. It's so deep and it's magnificent. I love this. Since that interview, I've had to research online to see what people think about it, and there are majority of people who think that the truth is the best way to go. There are other minority of people who finds this funny, and there are other people as well who decided to just be an observant. Of course, it's funny, it's knowledgeable, it's entertaining, and it is hilarious. But there are people like me. Of course, I find it funny. Most importantly, very funny. I also find it very teachable. I also find it very intriguing because if you quiet your mind for a moment and really take your time to listen to him speak, then you will realize there are a lot of life lessons that interview gave birth to. In that light, it became a quote that you can actually run with, that you can actually relate to tell yourself that, oh, that makes sense. Oh, that thing that he just said, it really resonates with me. It really makes sense to me because it's just so light. Truth is light. Truth is not heavy. Truth is not confusing. So according to Katt Williams, like he said, truth does not need motivation. If it's your truth, you just tell it. Truth is light and it is simple and it is very, very luring to many hearts. When you tell the truth, people can relate to it. People are not dummies. People know when you're telling the truth. People know when you're telling half truth. People know when what you're saying, if it's the whole truth, half truth, if you're being careful about, not revealing too much, so people can tell these things. So I think that is one of the reasons why this interview was so alarming and at the same time was so entertaining, because there is this weight of truth that has been lifted from many shoulders that makes people understand, come to the light of it, that, oh, okay, this truth, I can relate to it, it's beautiful. So, like people like me who took note of the lessons and the quotes and, the little hilarious moments. So the next one, he said, the truth doesn't need motivation.
I didn't want to be a movie star. No, you couldn't be a movie star. There are 30,000 new scripts in Hollywood every year. Not one of them asks for a country bumpkin black dude that can't talk good, baby, and look like Mr. Potato Head. There ain't none. You would have to have range. I played a lot of characters, 60 movie roles. I'm not playing Katt Williams in there.
I don't know, Katt. We might not let you drink anymore the way we ain't even got.
I'm not fueled by alcohol. I've had a sip, less than you. The truth don't need motivation. I'm just saying I can't let these dudes lie.
It's true, because the truth doesn't need motivation. You don't need to rack your head to tell the truth. The truth is light. The truth is fascinating because I think that we complicate things when we don't tell the truth. That's why our communications can be confusing sometimes, and sometimes deceiving, and sometimes it can be really, really hard to comprehend when we don't tell the truth, because the truth is light. You don't need motivation to tell the truth. Tell your story. Tell your truth. It's light. And we are living in an era that these days, we people will love the truth. We can relate to it. A lot of us, we can relate to the truth. If you tell us your truth, we will relate to you no matter the outcome. However it may be, whatsoever it may be, it's people are not too judgmental like before. I don't think so. I do not believe that these days when you tell your truth, people jump into judging you rather than supporting you. No, I think that people are more welcoming now to accept that, oh, it's true, truth is light, truth is beautiful, and it's not heavy. If you have something to say, just say it the way it is. Don't tell half truth. Like one of my favorite apostle would say, Apostle Joshua Selma, he always says that in his speakings, he always says that there is something, I think I have it, let me read it so I don't quote it wrongly. I have it on my list. Okay. The truth, there's something which is man-made. What is your truth? Okay, I have it. Oh, I found it. Like Apostle Joshua Selma always says, there is one thing that is greater than the truth, which is the whole truth. And this is so true. You see, like Katt Williams just said, the truth does not need motivation. We have to be truthful. Everything in our dealings, in our everyday lives, truth is freeing. It frees you from any kind of compromission. Am I speaking Spanish? It frees you from the truth. It just frees you, and it's free, and it's beautiful, and it's light to carry. It's not heavy. So the truth does not need motivation. Mr. Katt Williams. Okay.
The truth is the light.
I need to have another one of these.
Amen, amen.
Gee. I kind of get this one there.
Right.
After that, I don't really kind of know where to go. Let me, one more time.
Right.
We good now?
Because the people want to know, well, why would he get blackballed?
Yeah,
Oh, because
I was gonna ask you that.
because in 30 years I've done nothing but collect information, knowledge, and your secrets. So if you and a man was in a corner doing something you wasn't supposed to be doing,
You will tell it.
no, somebody come to tell me.
Okay.
I gather that, I value that, I'll pay for that. Come, tell me. I know so many things I shouldn't know, and they all know it. They all know it. Why?
In 30 years, I have been collecting information, knowledge, and your secrets. I value that. I'll pay for it. I know so many things I shouldn't know. This is so powerful because it's in the Bible also. Buy the truth and sell it not. You know, in this case, it's, of course, we're laughing about it and everything, but it's very, very valuable. It's a valuable lesson for us to learn. Buy the truth and sell it not. The next one is, this one has been really trending. Many people have been talking about it. It's not just on YouTube with the 51 million people. No, it also on other platforms also. They are all be talking about this particular one, which is really, really touched many people's hearts. according to Mr. Katt Williams, he said,
You're not afraid about being blackballed again? These are some power people.
What do you mean again? These people are not powerful. Satan can't create anything. That includes blessings for his people.
Satan can't create anything. That includes blessings for his people. Well, I think this phrase actually just explains itself. It's clear, it's simple, and it's powerful, and it's sacred, and it's very, very knowledgeable. We're learning so much from Mr. Katt Williams. So yes, I like this one also.
Yeah. Let Big Worm breathe. Stall him out now.
You having an unnatural allegiance to losers is not like you.
No.
Classify it as noble. Why is it noble? It's noble because this is brother to brother, two people sitting face to face. We are talking, you're asking me questions, I'm answering you. Then Mr. Shannon asked him a question. And then Mr. Katt Williams, before he answered, the man actually, he looked at him straight in the eyes. Then he reached out, he gently reached out to his drink. He took the glass of the drink and then took a sip. And just gently, he took a breath. And then he went on and answered and told him, you have an unnatural allegiance to losers. It's not like you. I know the man is funny, he's a comedian, so of course everything he says is supposed to make you laugh, but he's telling his truth, and it's so beautiful. I love the way he said it. He didn't say it in a way to offend Mr. Shannon, he just said it. Of course, I know you're my brother, we're just having a conversation man to man, but you know what? You have an unnatural allegiance to losers.
You having an unnatural allegiance to losers is not like you.
No.
In a way, it's telling Mr. Channel that I know you're loyal to the people you're loyal to, but at the same time, your loyalty is being misplaced. You've been loyal to losers. Remember, he said earlier on that losers are not allowed to rewrite history. So right here, in this very particular episode, he's telling Mr. Chandler that, you know what, I know you're loyal, my brother. I know you're very, very loyal to the people you're loyal to, but it's unnatural allegiance to losers. And it's just so funny. It makes you want to laugh. It makes you feel a little bit guilty for Mr. Chandler. It also makes you, you just realize that yes, it's man-to-man talk, and this is brilliant, this is knowledgeable, and this is very noble. That's why I said it's noble, because it's the truth. Respect. He also gave him the moment to reflect, to say, I know we're having a conversation, but it seems to me that you're being loyal to the wrong people. Okay, so I love that. I love that. I think that's one of my favorites. So the next one, he said, to be confident and not delusional is a real skill. And it's true. You have to be confident. Don't be delusional about things. Don't fake it. What is not there. Rather create it to be real. If you create it to be real, a real confidence is better than being delusional. Okay, so that one is there. Also, so the next one is where this one is very touching, and it's delicate, because this one is very delicate because before Mr. Katt Williams answered, you could see that he really took his time before he could answer. He took a deep breath, and then you could see him, he placed his two hands together, and it's like he really wanted us to know that is a very delicate matter, So it should not be taken lightly, like it's a thing of no importance. No, he really wanted us to know his input in that very question. So he really took his time to answer. He said that as a people, we can't classify somebody as having issue, like mental issue, and then you expect the person to start behaving in a different way. You understand? So Mr. Katt Williams really made a point there, because as a people we need to evaluate like what we think and what we expect from people, right? So Mr. Kanye West, you're saying that he's having issue, special needs issues. So why are you surprised that he's acting the way that he's acting? You shouldn't be surprised, because you classify the person that he has special needs. So if somebody has special needs, you should treat the person as such, that they have special needs. We should treat them with care and love as humans, not as playing both ways, being hypocrisy about it. Yeah, I think that is what Mr. Katt Williams was trying to say. So I really love the fact that he took his time to answer this very question. He wasn't in a hurry to answer it, and he showed in his expression, the way he was talking, that he really cared about it. Of course, he also said that he's not in support of the things that Kanye West is doing, and he's not against it. He is just saying that as a people, we should not be classifying people we should not place people in a category and then expect something else from the person, right? So, Mr. Katt Williams, thank you for sharing that with us. And these are some of the quotes and life lessons that I picked and I tapped into and I observed from Mr. Katt Williams' interview. So, Mr. Katt Williams, thank you so much for sharing your truth with us. Some of us will truly appreciate it, because it was entertaining, it was intriguing, it was magnificent, and you are a very, very brilliant man. Thank you so much for the impact that this interview has in us, because it spread and it's still spreading like a wildfire. 51 million views and counting as we speak. So Mr. Katt Williams, thank you so much. So much to learn from you, and may God keep you. Thank you. Okay guys, so I'll see you in my next one. Bye bye.